glad you are here today. It is an absolutely stunningly beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. We're in preparation for next Saturday's Mind, Body, Spirit Fair here. Wherever you're joining us from, we're glad you're here. And I'm going to invite you at home and you here to stand and we'll sing some music together.
All right, let's sing. Here we go. Take me to the water and I'll dive right in. I'm ready to let go of everything that's been. I said, take me to the mountain and I'll climb on up. From the highest peak, beauty's gonna fill my cup. I say yes, I say yes. I know all is well, all is well. I say yes, yes, I say yes. I say yes, yes, knowing all is well. I say yes, I say yes. I say yes, 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 knowing all is well. I say yes, I say yes, I know all is well. I said to throw routine right out the door. When I'm scared I know it leads me to something more. Widen my gaze and see all there is. Take a leap of faith, I'm gonna find that bliss. I say yes, I say yes, I know all is well. I say yes, yes, say yes. I say yes, yes, knowing all is well. I say yes, I say yes. I say yes, 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 knowing all is well. I say yes, I say yes. I know all is well. Let's throw that routine out one more time. I said to throw routine right out the door. When I'm scared I know it leads me to something more. Widen my gaze and see all there is. Take a leap of faith, I'm gonna find that bliss. I say yes, I say yes, I know all is well. I say yes, yes, I say yes. I say yes, yes, knowing all is well. I say yes, I say yes. I say yes, 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 knowing all is well. I say yes, I say yes, I know all is well. I say yes, and now you all say yes, we know all is well. I say yes, come on, we all say yes, we know all is well. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Take some of that beautiful energy and greet each other with it out there.
Y'all ready? Okay.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. welcome here. My soul is 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 welcome here. Well, we would like to invite any of our kids who are here today for our children's program. And just a reminder that we now have a nursery in the office for kiddos who are like, the little babies and the toddlers. But this outdoor class that they get to go do in this beautiful land behind us are for anyone who's about, what we decided, 5 and up? Yeah, 5 and up. All right. Well, here's our hearty class today. Let's sing them out into the gorgeous day. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and a sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. We got Mother Nature and the human race.
Well, good morning and welcome, everybody. I'm Cindy Clay. I'm the practitioner of the day along with Susan and Wanda today, and we're just here loving on you. Just a couple of reminders. If you haven't silenced your cell phone, that would be a good thing to do. And there is a prayer vessel on the table in the back. If you would love to have some prayer supporting you, we would love to do that. All right, so let's just breathe together and breathe in the magnificent love that fills this space. This love that we have welcomed in with the ringing of the bell, with your arrival this morning, with the presence of the musicians who've been practicing with such joy. This space is a welcoming, embracing space. And we are here today to share in this beautiful message Reverend Andrea is going to be presenting to us. We are here to say yes to all the love that is waiting right here for our recognition. And it starts right now with this beautiful service, embraced with love, held in love. And so I say thank you so much, sweet Spirit, for the chance to be together in this magnificent love. And so it is.
Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Let's sing that again. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. My heart is open. My heart is open. I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love, love. My heart is open. There is a knowing of love, love, love. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. My heart is open. My heart is open. I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love, love. My heart is open. I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love. My heart is open. My heart is open. I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love, love. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Well, I shared this next song with the congregation back in March, and a few of you asked for it to come again. So here it is, and I feel like it's in alignment with Andrea's talk today. Andrea's talking about passing by what you love, and this song is in that same heart of doing what you like and doing the things that you love and being exactly who you are meant to be, regardless of what that looks like. And you'll note in this song there are many, many words, and it sort of is a smattering of all the ways that we can be in life. And a bit of humor, too. Yeah. Can we give a hand to these folks back here who are... This is I feel very blessed to have the music team that we do in all the iterations. And today we've never played in this configuration, so it's been really fun practicing this morning. Pebble in your pocket, finger in a socket, fly off to space in a billionaire's rocket. Call the doctor, have a feast, write a song, feed the beast. Trucker hat, yoga mat, booze in the cupboard, dog on your lap. Throw out the bottle, swim in the sea, ride a bike, climb a tree. Sing, hey friend, what you gonna do with all your time? Hey friend, don't you wanna be more than just fine? 'Cause you just got this one life. You don't know when you're gonna die, so you might as well try to do more of what you like. Yo-yo tricks, pick up sticks, a barrel full of monkeys, a radio mix. Money in the bank, a dime on the floor. Seems most days you're looking for more. Big old stack of books in a nook. Box of macaroni when you don't want to cook. Or lay down low whenever you can. Sometimes the best of days when you got no plans. Sing, hey friend, what you gonna do with all your choices? Yeah, hey friend, about time you turn down all the voices. 'Cause you just got this one life. You don't know when you're gonna die, so you might as well try to do more of what you like. Some folks may say you've got it wrong, but you know you're the only one who knows card, stomp your feet, dance alone, put down the phone, take a look in the mirror, change your tone. Sing, hey friend, what you gonna do with all your choices? Sing, hey friend, about time you turn down all the voices, 'cause you just got this one life. You don't know when you're gonna die, so you might as well try to do more of what you like. Sing, hey friend, I'm not wasting any time. Sing, hey friend, look at me here, I'm doing more than fine, 'cause I just got this one life. I don't know when I'm gonna die, so I'm not gonna hide. I'm gonna do more of what I like. I'm gonna do more of what I like. I'm gonna do more of what I like.
Super fun. Thank you all. Whenever a mandolin comes out or a ukulele, I'm like, all right, we're in for it now. And it's been kind of the buzz around here before you all arrived about this talk, because it's a weird title. And the title is Pass By What You Do Not Love. And so the practitioners were like, I wonder what she's going to talk about. And I said, yeah, me too. But actually, this is based on a quote from one of my favorite authors. His name is Phil Cousineau, and he was a student of Jung and many of the teachers of Jung. And he wrote a book called The Art of Pilgrimage, and it's a classic now. And this was out of the book. And the quote goes, "The old hermit along the side of the road whispers, 'Stranger, pass by that which you do not love.'" And every time I read that, I get a little bit of a chill. And so, the first time I saw that quote, I was thinking, okay, yeah. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized it's such a powerful instruction for the pilgrimage that you and I are on in our lives. Because really, we only have this one life as far as we know. And that's such a powerful instruction. Because if you're like me, for me, it took me a long time to stop doing what other people thought I should do. And it took a long time for me to tune into what was truly my integrity, no one else's, and then live from that place. And I think what's most powerful about this quote, about pass by what you do not love, it's not permission to not do all the icky stuff we have to do, right? I mean, that's not what that quote is about. You still have to balance your checkbook and go grocery shopping and, either plug in your car or put gas in it. All the little things that we do that, at least tuning into what I love, those don't hit the list. So it's not permission to just shine everything on, but it's really pointing to living from a different place, a place of integrity. And so I was reading this morning a quote. I get a lot of quotes, I'm sure you do too, in my inbox. And this one was from a really famous psychologist named John Wellwood. And he was pointing to something that in our tradition of the science of mind is kind of how we see the world. And it applies to this quote, and I'll tell you how in a minute. But here's the quote that came through. Since it is the nature of human beings to live on both the absolute and relative level, we can never reduce reality to a single dimension. We are not just this relative body-mind organism. We are also absolute being, awareness, presence, much larger than our bodily form or personal history. And why this applies to me for this talk is, part of what keeps us bound in not doing our highest love and our deepest integrity is personal history. As a therapist for years and years and years, I worked with people who were wrestling with their personal history. And that's a powerful wrestle, and it's a good one. And I'm sure many of you in this audience have done that work. But that's not all. And that's why I came back into ministry, because I needed to talk about the other part of it, which is the absolute reality you and I live in. The reality where we are not just this unfolding drama of, crappy parents or whatever. I had great parents, but I know I'm fairly rare. From my therapy world, I know I'm really rare. So, we've got all that, but we're so much more than that. And if we only focus on the timeline of historical dimension, we might have a really kind of awful life. If our start was awful, we might think that that's just the nature of things. But it's not just the nature of things. There's so much more, and it has to do with this ultimate dimension that we also, the absolute reality that we also participate in all the time. But for most of us, until we find a spiritual path, we don't realize it. It's there, but it's not there. It's not in our awareness. And so I'm always delighted to see all of you and to see all of you on the live stream, because I have a feeling somewhere along your personal history line, you went, there's got to be more to this world than this. There's got to be more, and I can feel it. How do I find it? How do I find the place that I can tell is there of presence, of awareness, of a greatness beyond the individual happenings of my life? So you walked into a center like this, or sat for meditation, or practiced Tai Chi, or you learned yoga, or you did sacred study, or you did something that all of a sudden, that part of you that had been waiting for you to say yes, all of a sudden, as soon as you did anything, it went, I'm seen. And from there, the spiritual path starts. That's where it begins. And my own experience, I don't know if it's true for you, I'm going to ask for a show of hands, but my own experience was that once I started, even if I wanted to stop, I couldn't. It was just too compelling. How many of you have had that experience? Oh, just about everybody. Yeah, and so what I began to realize is that part of that, allowing that greater reality that's there to show up in me, through me, and as me, part of it was paying attention to the moment by moment things that I was doing and the habits. And I talk a lot about habits here because they're very, very potent and not always great. My teacher used to tell a story about a man who was terrified of being burned alive. He just came into this world with that fear, and he lived in a village where all of the trash from the village would go into a central incinerator in the middle of their village. This is long, long ago. We don't do that anymore, mostly. And so one day he's in his house, and all of a sudden the door slams open, and these two huge men come in, and they grab him, one on each side of him, grab his arms, and they're huge and they're strong, and they start dragging him out of his house. And he's like, what is going on? What are you doing? And that we're going to burn you alive in the incinerator. His greatest fear, right? And he does everything he can. He screams, he yells, he fights, he drops his weight, and everything he can think of to stop these men from dragging him and burning him alive, and nothing works. And that's the end of the story. My teacher wasn't really great about happy endings. I was always the trouble with him. So I made up a story about the end. You want to hear it? This is the Science of Mind ending. Until he let go. And when he let go of the fear and realized that it was going to happen, they dropped him. before he hit the incinerator. Now, I don't know. That's not the end of the story that I was told, but it's mine. And it comes out of my direct experience of working with habits and habit energy. It's like there's this part of us that will take us over and over and over into doing things that we do not love about ourselves and about how to be in the world. And you can name your own poison, but it's a poison, really, actually. You know, whether it's eating sugar when you really don't love the effect of that, or you name it. In Bellingham, I could do a list, you know, gluten, you know, dairy, you know. And it takes a while if you've been habituated to, let's use the example of eating things that actually are poison for your body, but you grew up eating those things. It takes a while for all of us to kind of go, you know, I know that my mind says this is delicious, that this is what we do, but it's not good for me, and I need to stop. You could apply the same thing in relationships. A lot of us do habitual relationships that are not actually good for us, but they're the way we learn to do relationships. Am I talking to anybody here? Come on. And so we have to relearn. We have to learn a different way. And the way we do that is we begin to pay attention. So if you're in a place in your life where you really want to pay attention, what begins to show up are the places where there's a double message going on. So we're saying yes when we want to say no. We're doing things when we know we shouldn't be. And, you know, Marianne Williamson used to say, whenever we do that, it's like putting your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time in your soul. And you don't go anywhere. You're just spinning your wheels and using a lot of your sacred energy to not go anywhere because you're double messaging yourself. So the way we get out of this is we begin to pay attention to the spiritual path we're on, not actually the practices. I'm talking about a different level of attention. We begin to ask ourselves, is this path a path with heart? Is it a path that unfolds me in my integrity? Is it a path that makes me stronger, not weaker? Is it a path that makes me happier rather than more depressed? And that's a tough one. It's a tough one. I brought a quote about this because it says it so well. So it's from Carlos Castaneda and the teachings of Don Juan. Anything can be a path. Therefore, you must always keep in mind that a path is only a path. If you feel you should not follow it, you must not stay with it under any condition. To have such clarity, you need to lead a disciplined life. Only then will you know that any path is only a path, and there is no affront to oneself or to others in dropping it if that is what your heart tells you to do. But your decision to keep on the path or to leave it must be free of fear or ambition. I warn you, look at every path closely and with deliberation. Try it as many times as you think necessary. And the question you should ask is one that only very old people ask. Does this path have a heart? All paths are the same. They actually lead nowhere. They are paths going through the bush or into the bush, and in my own life, I could say that I have traversed long, long paths, but I'm not anywhere. So the question, does this path have a heart, is important, because if it does, the path is good. So for me, this applies in those minute decisions you and I make on a daily basis, the little things that can rob us of our sacred energy or not. They can take us away from ourselves or take us into ourselves. They can help us live joyfully and allow us to love more fully ourselves and other people or not. And so it's the micro choices that we make in a daily life that he's talking about. And I've found to be true when he says you have to be disciplined. Now, you got to know that word for a long time was like a bad word for me. I lived with people that was what they wanted me to do, and I rebelled. How about you? School, parents, all kinds of folks were telling me that I needed to do it this way. And that was their definition of discipline. But as I grew on the spiritual path, I found a different definition. One that's actually more accurately true to the word. You know what discipline comes from is disciple. And when I practice discipline, I am becoming a disciple to myself. Meaning that I'm paying attention to what's most valuable, most true, most in my integrity, and trying to live from that place. Do I fail? Well, it's like the gym. Do I go? Yes. Do I go every time I think I should? No. Am I always on track on that path of the heart? Not always. But enough of the time that more and more I can feel when I'm off, instead of being off most of the time, and then every once in a while finding the way to feeling really, really good. And I'm not talking about just like emotionally feeling good. I'm talking about sanity. I'm talking about the deep level of living from this place more and more fully. And so that's why I've stayed on the science mind path for so long. I was talking to someone who's a friend of mine who's not in our community, but came. She likes what I'm saying, but she said, I could never put my finger on the community. And I said, well, here's the thing, because she's a Buddhist. And as you know, the Four Noble Truths start with, there is suffering. And so she's like, I just couldn't put my finger on it. And I said, well, here's the difference between Buddhism and science mind. Is Buddhism, for many people, focuses on the suffering and forgets about the third noble truth, which is the end of suffering. But in the science of mind, we recognize there's suffering. I talk about it all the time. I just talked about it. Did you notice? You have suffering. The suffering is caused by habit energy and by doing things with the gas and the brake on. But that's not where we land, because to just know that might not propel you or me into action. What propels us into action is knowing that there is a way out of suffering. So our community is really about how do we heal suffering in ourselves and the world. Not shining it on, not being Pollyanna-ish, although I am, I'll admit it, rainbows are everywhere, but rather really noticing that the world has suffering, we have suffering, our friends have suffering, but that's not the end of the story. There's a way out of suffering. And part of it is living true to who we are. And then really in that state, we have the ability to help. We have the ability to assist in the world suffering, whether it's being an earth steward and encouraging people to live more lightly on the earth and take steps that will turn climate change into a new reality of climate stability, regeneration. Whether it's social justice and working for the rights and the privileges of everyone, and noticing the suffering caused when those are violated. Maybe your passion is feeding the hungry. There's a lot of suffering there. Or helping the homeless. There's a lot of suffering there. But if all we do is focus on that, it's not motivating. It's just suffering. And my therapist friends, when I was learning therapy, used to say, when someone's face down in the mud in a ditch, you don't dive in there with them because you're not going to be able to help. Instead, you stand on top of the ditch, grab their feet, and pull them out. To do that, spiritually speaking, we have to be prepared ourselves. We have to be stable and strong in our spiritual life. We have to be a disciple to our integrity, to our truth, and live from that. eliminating the places where we've said yes when actually it should have been a no. When we've said, I love you, when actually it was like, I need you. And all the other places we go. So I'm going to do a prayer for myself. And if you would like this prayer for you, all you have to do is while you're listening, don't drift off. Stay with me and say yes. And so it is at the end. So here's the prayer. I know and accept for myself and for anyone who would choose this prayer that there is a powerful, absolute reality that I live in that is vast and unconditional and is love and wisdom. And it is not limited in any way by my relative experience. And so I turn to that place within me that knows this truth, that knows that I am far more than my outpictured life here in this lifetime. And turning to that, I call upon that love to manifest itself as deep self-love in me, so that I can take good care of my spirit, my mind, and my body, loving these vehicles for my absolute expression more and more fully, tending, becoming a disciple to mind and body and spirit. I also call upon the wisdom of this absolute knowingness that is all that is to assist me in choosing a path with heart, moment by moment, listening deeply for the nod from that wisdom or the shake of the head internally that says, no, not that way, dear one, not that way. And as I open to love and wisdom, from the ultimate source of all love and wisdom, I am transformed over and over again as I listen and act from that place within me that is connected to that. And this transformation allows me to more and more fully be filled with joy, be able to assist others, and to know the right path for me with clarity and dignity and integrity. So I'm grateful for this prayer in action in me now. I know that this prayer is now operating for me and anyone who says yes, and that it is a prayer that is eternal, that it will never end, for transformation into becoming a vehicle of love and wisdom is forever unfolding. And I'm grateful for that understanding as well. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to invite the ushers to come forward. And thank you in advance for any donation you can make to our center. So many people make donations that you don't see because they've signed up for a program where they just send money on a regular basis through PayPal or an automatic transfer from their bank. So thank you to those of you who don't put money in the basket, but you put money in the basket. And thank you for everyone who does put money in today.
All I love is all around me. All around me there is love. Like a sea of open water, and the trees that rise above. I know that I am worthy of the gifts that love can bring. All I love is all around me. Love is everything. All I love is all around me. All around me there is love. Lifts me up if I let it, especially when I give it up. There is no limit to its its magic. So I raise my voice and sing. All I love is all around me. Love is everything. Back to the top. All I love is all around me. All around me there is love. Like a sea of open water, and the trees that rise above. I know that I am worthy of the gifts that love can bring. All I love is all around me. Love is everything. Love is everything. Love is everything. One more time. Love is everything.
I just love being your accompanist on some of these.
I feel like you just need to get closer. We'll give you a tambourine. And
Super shy about my voice being out there in singing land. Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on. We have some slides that help us with that. So we have been working diligently, and I want to thank any of you who came for the last 2 gardening parties where we weeded and we weed whacked and we trimmed and we did all sorts of things. Thank you very much. Let's give them a hand. People are taking down cobwebs and making sure everything's in place for our Mind, Body, Spirit Fair, which is next Saturday. And so we have a couple more positions that we're looking for. The entry gate is going to be right on the parking lot, and we need a couple of people through the day to help the ones that have already signed up, because we have 500 people show up regularly, and so it's a lot of people, and so having more hands there to take the $5 charge for adults and stamp people's hands and all that kind of stuff, we could use some help that way. I hear we have enough shuttle drivers. That was another thing. We take really good care of our vendors, and the vendors, in case you've never been to one of these, range from mystic sound healing to psychics to healing products for mind, body, and spirit. There's all kinds of stuff happening here. And we'd love you to come, and we'd love you to volunteer if that fits with your schedule. So in our classroom at the Ask Me desk, there are some clipboards where you can sign up. And those of you listening online, if you're getting this message before Thursday, you might call the office and just see if there's any other need if you're able to come on Saturday and help. Specifically, I want to ask something because I've learned through all these years of doing the Mind, Body, Spirit Fair. The cleanup crew is the most important crew we have because all of us on the Mind, Body, Spirit Fair team that have been there since 8 o'clock in the morning, by the time we hit 4:30 when the vendors are starting to leave, we're exhausted. I remember one year, several of us separately dragged into Whole Foods to get some food because we were starving. And we looked at each other, we'd seen each other all day long, and went and sat somewhere else because we're so tired. We didn't want to talk anymore. So if you can come at 4 and help us clean up and get the sanctuary ready and the classroom ready for Sunday, boy, we could really use help right then. So that's that. And part of what we're doing in the classroom that will be set up next Sunday as well is a book sale, a used book sale. And so if you have some spiritual books that you're done with or novels that you would think would be great summer reading and you want to bring them in, we would love to have those donations hit our shelves by Thursday, because the crew is going to start setting up the book sale. And Wednesday would be better because Thursday's when they're hoping to put it all together. If you come during our office hours, we can let you in to the classroom, and that would be best for us. So look through your shelves. I did. I brought in boxes. We also have a really cool thing happening, and this is, we have a really powerful Victory Garden crew this year. And many of them are either being master gardeners or learning about master gardening, and they want to do an educational garden party and invite you to come to learn about things. I think they also will have you active in the garden. We want to look at medicinal herbs in particular. So it's at noon on July 30th, and you're invited to come. And there's a sign-up sheet at the Ask Me desk. And then let's see what else. I wanted to make sure, I think I already did that one. I wanted to make sure you all knew about the Gourmets for Good that's been happening. And if you're new, what that is we have one big fundraiser a year, and it's called Gourmets for Good. And a whole bunch of people volunteer to make a meal for, anywhere from 4 to 12 people. And then the rest of us bid for a place at those tables. And this year we raised over $16,000 with that one fundraiser, which the bidding takes 3 weeks. So it's like this very succinct, wonderful thing. But the most wonderful thing of all is that these hosts and hostesses prepare this meal, and the guests come, and you get to talk to people very intimately and wonderfully and get to know them. So we've had a whole bunch already happen. Last Sunday night, Jean and Mike Wilson and Kalish hosted Bunko. Any of you at that Bunko party? Yes. I heard it was a hoot. And then Friday night, it was Friday night, right? It was Cindy and Leo doing pasta with cats, not in the meal, but around. How many of you got to go to the pasta? Yeah, really cool. I heard really wonderful. And then yesterday for lunch, some of you came for a wonderful green, clean eating experience where there was demonstration of how to eat clean and green, and then you got to eat. How many of you came to that? Yeah, and I was very impressed with I was here gardening, and I was very impressed that everybody who showed up was really excited about clean and green. Good discipleship for yourself. Good job. So I just wanted to thank those of you who went and bid, and there's more to come. And I think that might be it. So why don't we stand and we'll sing our way out of here.
I am blessed. I am blessed every day of my life. I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning or I lay my head to rest, I am blessed. I am blessed. I am free. I am free. I am free. Oh yeah, I'm free every day of my life. I am free, 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 free. When I wake up in the morning or I lay my head to rest, I am free. I am free. I am blessed. Let's sing it out. I am blessed. I am blessed every day of my life. I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning or I lay my head to rest, I am blessed. 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 One more time. I am blessed. I am blessed. Enjoy this glorious weather, and we'll hope to see you at the Mind, Body, Spirit Fair on Saturday. 1